Hello everybody, it's Vintage here and I'm bringing you another game of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void again, a Terran versus Protoss here on Lerilak Crest. In the top right is our red Protoss player, it is Sandinista. And in the bottom right, the blue Terran, it is Elska. Again, Terran versus Protoss, one of my favourite matchups right now. It's really, I find it really difficult to play, but I do love watching it. I've always loved watching Terran versus Protoss, as it's just the way the army compositions have always interacted. Have always been really awesome to watch, I think. But yeah, which is Elska's now just sending his SCV over, going for a little scout, and we'll actually get the first scout off as well here on the Protoss player, which is really nice for him. Sandinista looking to just go for a Nexus first here, as he hasn't got a gateway or any gas and has banked up about 400 minerals here. He's gonna just go and take that Nexus as Elska comes in, sees what's going on. We'll take a mineral here. You know, a little bit of theft, a little bit of robbery. Anything's always good. And somebody pinged something during this game. But gateway and double gas coming down here as well for Sandinista. Pretty standard. You know, it looks like he might want to follow this up with some kind of Oracle shenanigans, or maybe want to go for a faster robe as well for an adept drop. Whoa. Yeah, again with the bleeps, man. Well, here comes that barrack. Sorry, I was lost for words there. Gets out one marine, starts a Reaper. Looks like he wants to start command center as well, but the SCV's not doing anything just yet. There we go. And that probe has actually, unfortunately, scouted the long way round. And we'll get the last scout here on Elska. And where this marine looking to go and take the Zonarka watchtower, get that vision in the middle of the map, which is really smart. You know, because sometimes you think, oh, you know, he's not going to have any presence anywhere on the map. My Oracle can just kind of fly out of miniature towards and down. And sometimes just having a marine here at the Zonarka can be enough to scout that and give you enough time to defend. And sometimes just seeing an Oracle is enough to give you what you need to defend it. And seeing an Oracle is the difference between losing like 12 SCVs and winning the game. So Cybercore is about 2/3 of the way done, nearly finished here. So there's a second gateway coming up here as well. Elska throwing on that factory. Has got that double gas. Gonna go for that. Probably gonna go for that cyclone. You know, used to defend early on, as they are they're very good at defending kind of aggressive strategies, like an Oracle, like a Adept Warp Prism. But he could also go straight for Faster Starport and go for some Liberator shenanigans, as there is a point kind of behind the third base here you can kind of sit behind. And you can probably get an awkward spot maybe here onto this natural as well. But the main's usually, well actually, I'll take that back, the main's got a nice big gap behind it, you can park one in as well. Reaper here, just seeing what we can get done, has got one kill, I'm assuming that is on a probe. We can of course check that with the units last time, it is actually a probe as well. Second probe does go down, I'm assuming it tries to go scouting, but one of these marines got that probe there. They would just go sit at the top of this ramp to make sure nothing can get by. But that being the case, you have to bear in mind that this is Lerilak Crest, and there is this kind of area here which you can sneak by, and does make taking this airbase a lot harder, but they are going to update this in the next patch, just making these rocks kind of by default broken as opposed to the other way around. Natural has been secured here and starting to build up a nice probe count here, but 2 Liberators are on the way here for Elska. Excuse me one sec. Yeah, so 2 Liberators are on the way here for Elska, and that factory has got the tech on it now, so we could go for a Cyclone here. Maybe even a Siege Tank, and there is actually that Siege Tank. And looking to just build up a lot of units and maybe just push across the map with a Siege Tank, a couple of Liberators and some Marines. And actually, you know, with the way Photon overcharges at the moment, where the pylons are positioned, if Elska was to take a nice position down here, we could actually do a lot of damage and there wouldn't be too much that Sandinista could do about it. But 3 Stalkers are going to head towards the middle of the map and push away the Reaper and the Marine here and deny that middle of the map vision. Rip Marine 2016 to 2016, but a Marine count is starting to build up here at home. And that Siege Tank is out, as well as these Liberators are heading across over here and see what they can get done in the main base. And they might just sit behind the middle line here. 2 Liberators you can actually do some really abusive stuff with if you're at the same base, as you can kind of park one either side. It makes it a lot harder to deal with as you have to run into them. But one Liberator just parks right on top of that middle line, and the other one here will park over there. Actually, it's quite kind of smart, as it does mean that we've done the gas there as well, and you can't really push into it. But I would like to see is actually Elska put this a little bit higher up, because he can't really walk on top of the Nexus, but it means he couldn't walk the wrong way around. But Sandinista doesn't care about walking around that area, so he will just go and pick off both Liberators. But we'll lose a couple Stalkers in the process. He actually lost 4 Stalkers and 6 probes during all of that, which I would say would definitely make that worth it. Elska, he got a lot done there in the denied mining as well. But at home, 2 medevacs, Marine cannons building up, Stims on the way, and 2 tanks are out as well. And Elska looking to take a 3rd command center here as the SCV is heading down to the 3rd. And we'll throw that down. And he has actually broken down these rocks as well really smartly to make sure nothing can run by, like DT, Zealots, that kind of thing. Has to be really inside the actual base here, which makes it much easier to scout. But Sandinista looking to take that map presence, looking to push out on the middle map here. Blink is about halfway done here as well. And he's just going to look to put some pressure on him, making a lot of Stalkers, but there are Siege Tanks out. Stim's about halfway done, 1-1 is on the way. So, given the state of the game, worker supply is about even right now, 40 to 41, but Terran does have Mules, and that 3rd command center is on the way as well. So, all Elska needs to do right now is just hold on, and he'll have a much more advantageous position in this game. I would prefer to see the Siege Tanks positioned a little bit further back, as they are quite easy to pick off where they are, so just at the top of the ramp there. And as you can see, a couple of free shots off on that musket. What is Elska doing? No, he needs to be careful. Doesn't want to go too far out here without Stim. With these Marines, he's going to get a ton of free shots off onto them. But one tank does go down as well to those Stalkers. But this tank here does get a good few free shots off, which has dented this army quite significantly. But a lot of Stalkers warping in here right now as well. And actually, Sandinista, he can't really... I wouldn't say you can A-move right now, but he can, with Blink, put on a lot of pressure. Just needs to be really careful how he's doing. Move commands right on top of that tank, picks it off, and does lose a lot of Stalkers there, actually, for just one tank. I wouldn't say that was worth at all. But Stim is done now. There are 4 medevacs out, 2 more Liberators, and 1's about to be done as well. And Elska's doing a good job of holding on here. Like, Sandinista maybe could have put on the pressure a little bit more than he has, but that being said, Elska didn't die during a couple of those attacks, but really, Sandinista should have been putting a lot more pressure early on than he did with that attack. He was just sort of sitting outside, not really doing too much. And actually, I think that allowed us to get back into this, because Stim's now done. There's 1-1, a lot of medevacs, a lot of Siege Tanks here as well, and the 3rd base is done here as well. Whereas Sandinista, he's on 2 bases right now. There's nothing really at home for him. He's starting now 2 Robo base, trying to catch up, build those Disruptors, Immortals, really benefit him here. But the mass stalker composition isn't really going to help him here too much, as really what he needs right now are kind of Adepts, Zealots, anything else out the gateway. Maybe not Sentries actually, but Stalkers really aren't where he needs right now. He needs Adepts, he needs Zealots, and he needs to start researching other stuff out of this Twilight Council, which is just having Chronos wasted on it right now. And he's just swapping in more Stalkers. 2 Robo base are finished up. Is he going to make Immortals out of it? I mean, it's all he can really make. He can make, like, what, 2 Warp Prisms? 2 Observers? I mean, Observers wouldn't be too bad, but yeah, I got 2 Observers. But, he really just needs more stuff, and he's going to get that Robotics Bay here. So he's going to look to get those Disruptors and maybe Colossus, depending how he's feeling. But now that 3rd Nexus is already about 2/3 of the way done. But the 3rd base is already up and running here for Elska, and, you know, SCV is only now just transferring over from the main, but it's still been there. He's had that SCV production from it, and that's just extra energy for Mules as well. And Elska actually, you know, at the moment he could just take his army and move out. He's ahead in army supplies, ahead in workers, he's got better upgrades as well. And the tech on his army is much better. At the moment, it's still just mass blink stalker versus marine tank liberator. You know, like, he could just push across the map right now with this army and do a ton of damage. But the Rebate is now finishing up, and after these two Immortals, I want to see what he wants to make. He might make Colossus, he might get Disruptors, we'll just have to see. That being said, oh, one drop is coming over here. We'll be pushed away by 2 Blink Stalkers here. And he's actually going to come around and maybe try and recommit this. Oh, Stalkers do catch it and might get the medevac. He just stem with a few of these Marines. We'll get one Stalker and does lose the medevac though, but does get both Stalkers, and that's just going to run all the way around. But here come the Link Stalkers to clean this up, and he might get a couple SCVs. Sorry, not SCVs, probes here. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, just 3. Before that all gets cleaned up. But anything he gets is nice right now, just extending that lead as much as he can. 1-1's about to finish here for the Protoss player, but +2 weapons is almost done here for Elska as well. Don't know where that +2 armor is, that might be a mistake. Getting 2 disruptors here. Actually going to get extended thermal lance here for a Colossus. I'm interested to see why he's hitting that. If he's putting disruptors and he's confident with disruptors, I'm not sure why he wants to get Colossus. But then again, it is guaranteed DPS, which is something he does really need right now. So, you know, maybe Colossus wouldn't be such a bad decision in this position. Disruptors would be better, but you know, if he feels more confident with Colossus, and actually if he needs that constant DPS, that's fine. But here he goes, and Elska's actually going to just trap him away from his bases here. Liberators are sieging up, and so are the tanks here. Don't know if he realises you can just pick the tanks up with his medevacs, which would make his life a lot more interesting. But he's just going to engage his Marines here, outside Liberator range, outside T6 range. He should just pick off this Nexus. Like, Sandinista is completely zoned out right now. He could just focus on this Nexus, maybe even walk right up into the natural and kill him as well. There's 2 disruptors here, really exposed, but they just back off into the main base, and 2 more disruptors here as well. Why is he getting extended thermal lance if he's just putting disruptors? No, rest in peace that Stalker. Rip and kill. Now Elska's just going for the kill here, going right for the throat of the army. So out of position with that disruptor shot. Oh no! Does lose a lot of Marines there for free, but does counter one of them, so it could have been a lot worse. He did get one of the disruptors before he got it shot off, and that one was quite nasty as well. But the army of Vanson is just so out of position here. He just needs to siege everything up, and there's nothing this army will do. Just blink Stalkers. He really wants to kill these disruptors. Actually, I think you might not even need to siege up these siege tanks, as they'll just put out a lot of DPS on their own. This is just blink Stalkers. There you go. Here comes a lot of the move command sieging up the Liberators there, right on top of it. Stim comes down, tank sieging up. And now the Liberators are starting to rain fire down, but does Elska have enough? He does just have enough, I think, to start pushing the way, as the Stalkers do not have enough DPS to clean up this Marine army, and Elska is going to take this game. No GG from Sandinista as he just leaves in pure rage after losing that game. And Elska actually did a nice job of holding on. I really think that Sandinista could have put on a lot more pressure than he did with that Blink Stalker forces. It was quite sizable, and there wasn't really much for Elska, and the siege tanks weren't placed particularly well. But that being said, Elska did get himself into a nice good position. He held off the aggression, he established himself a third base way before the Protoss, and he got himself a nice lead, and he just extended on it, and that was great. It was good to see. Again, a questionable decision why he put a ton of gas into extended thermal lance. I'm like, why? Why did he get this? What was the point? He just keeps putting disruptors. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you all next time.